Yeah. Get high rapper. The man hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this.
I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. Hit me Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the man hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten knuckle screws. Yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down. It's going down. I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back. I can double up. I got sriracha for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules and know that it be fair foul. Rep blow the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field or outside the lines. It's the man hour though, now we going live.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page and, of course, check out the blog section as well. We got some fantasy blogs dropping this afternoon. And tonight, right after the show is over, we do have my man, Andrew Reynolds, is dropping another blog over there about the Carolina Panthers, about the quarterback competition happening down there in Carolina. So good stuff happening over there at manhourradio.com, guys. Blog section over there. If you're interested in fantasy sports, we do have a fantasy sports show over there as well. The first episode is starting next Wednesday. Next Monday, which is August 1st. So excited about that. We have three people contributing to that. So that is good times all over there. We are very, very excited about good things happening over here on the old Man Hour Radio. Now, as always, guys, as always, we start the show off with the shocked news of the day. So, Man Hour Nation, let's get shocked. And for the last, week to 2 weeks to a month, it seems like Brittany Griner has kind of been the topic of the shocked news for whatever reason. I mean, is it because everything that's happening over there is complete bullshit? Yes, 100%. So, as of today, Brittany Griner has officially testified in front of the Russian court about her basically bringing illegal drugs, keyword there, illegal drugs into Russia and trying to board a airplane. Now, the U.S., a.k.a. Joe Biden, has offered a deal to release Brittany Griner from the Russian police force, from the Russian prisoner. There was also a couple of other names that were mentioned, but I really don't know who they are. Like, one was like some type of military person, and I think the other one was like a news anchor for whatever reason. Now, as first reported here, when I just read the article, it was very unclear of what the terms of the deal was. So it was like, we don't know if we're going to allow Hunter Biden to go back over there and make some more money, get some blow off some hookers. Like, we don't know what the terms are. But what I want to bring up, this is a total not Man Hour Sports Talk show talk here, because, we're basically focused on the NFL. But we do realize that Brittany Griner broke the law, right, guys? We know that she broke the law. She tried to board an airplane with drugs on her, and now we are trying to release her back into U.S. custody. Yes, it was a little bit of marijuana or THC and a vape or whatever it was. Either way, it was illegal. What about the people here in America? What about the people that are here that are in jail because of selling marijuana, for, smoking pot? Like, they're sitting in jail because they got caught exactly just like Brittany Griner did. But we, as Americans, as Joe Biden, as a president, wants to go over there and bring her home. Wants to bust her out of prison and set her free because she's an American overseas stuck in jail. What about the people here? Like, legitimately. Like, we need to take care of ourselves before we worry about other people in other countries. She broke the law in Russia. Let her serve her time. Yes, I know it's active war and all this other crap. Yeah, I get it. At the end of the day, I do get it. But truth be told, I don't give a rat's ass. Where was her patriotic duty when she was saying, oh, I don't want to play the national anthem before the games, yada, yada, yada. It makes me upset. We are, what's the word I was looking for? Oppressed or whatever, right? The world hates me because I'm a black female, yada, yada. But now she wants America to save her. Make up your mind. You know, America is great when you can bust me out of a Russian prison for breaking the law. But America sucks when I'm playing in the WNBA, making $250,000 a year, playing a game that I love. Then America sucks because, you know, we're oppressed and we're not making enough money and this and this and this. At the end of the day, what do you want? Do you want your cake and eat it too? That is what it sounds like to me, ladies and gentlemen. She wants her cake and she wants to eat it too. That is the way I feel right now. Play those crickets. Play those crickets. Come on, get off of there. That's enough of the crickets. All right, guys, so welcome to the Man Hour. As I said, we got an action-packed show for you tonight. AFC North breakdown. That's the Cincinnati Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, and, of course, the infamous Cleveland Browns. Going to break down all of their 17-game schedules moving forward, give you guys win-losses of each week, and just a couple bold predictions about how we think the season is going to go. But before we get into that, we have to bring out the infamous if and then segment. If you guys do not know what the if and then statement is, or the segment is, basically, you, the fans, have hit me up on Twitter at manhour_buck. If you're not following me, you should. At manhour_buck on the old Twitter machine. Tweet. Or you can also follow the Span Hour Sports Show at manhour_sports. And, of course, you can follow my man Beastie, which he'll be back here in a couple weeks, guys. August is coming fast. Beastie will be here before we know it. You can follow him at manhour_combs. So, but the if and then statements are pretty clear, guys. You guys give us an if statement, and then we finish it with the then. So, example, if the sky is blue, then the sun is out, right? I mean, obviously, it's not going to be that cut and dry. We're going to give you a little bit of explanation of why that is, and they're not that easy. They are not that easy. So, let me flip the page of the old notebook here. Let's get it going. All these if and this statements are geared toward the AFC North tonight. So if you are an AFC North fan, buckle up and have some good times. If you watch us live over here at youtube.com/manhour at 8 p.m. East Coast time every Monday through Friday, be sure to jump on the poll and vote. Question's pretty simple. Who is going to win the AFC North? You got 4 teams to choose from. So far, it's 50% Steelers, 50% Bengals. Jump in there and vote, guys. We got a good show lined up for you tonight. So, the first if and then statement of the night. Like I said, it is AFC North geared. So, the first one is about the Ravens. Imagine that. So, as you guys know, the Baltimore Ravens went 8-9 last season, and they missed the playoffs. Lamar Jackson did only play 12 games last season in his injury-plagued season, and pretty much the whole Ravens roster seemed to be riddled with injuries. Hell, I think at one point they had like 13 running backs. They were pulling people off the grocery aisle out of the announcer booth to play running back for them because it seemed like everybody was tearing an ACL on that team. It was just an ACL tearing season in Baltimore. Hopefully, I don't ever wish any ill will on them, so hopefully they have fixed their mistakes that they made over there and get that squared away. But the first if and then statement of the night. If the Baltimore Ravens win the NFC North, then what? Wow. If the Baltimore Ravens win the AFC North, then Lamar Jackson is going to win another MVP. Because if you look at this roster, guys, who do they have? J.K. Dobbins is out. Their backup running back is out. They traded off their top receiver to Arizona, right? So They literally have nobody on that team except for maybe Mark Andrews. Yes, they got a pretty solid defense, a pretty decent defense at the end of the day, because that's what the Baltimore Ravens are built on. That's when they win their championship, was the defense. But if they win the NFC North, Lamar Jackson has to have he is going to win the MVP 100%. He is going to have another 3,200-yard passing. He's going to have to rush for another 1,000 yards, probably 40 touchdowns as well. And the interception ratio has to be down below probably 10 at least. During his MVP season, he threw for 3,100 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. He definitely has to repeat that plus some. Basically more with his legs. He has to be a better running back at the end of the day, what it comes down to. So if the Baltimore Ravens win the AFC North, Lamar Jackson is going to win his second MVP in 4 years, right? So not terrible. Not terrible at all, Baltimore Ravens fans. You guys should be hype about that. So next one up here. I see Joe's dad's in the chat. That's kind of weird. What's up, Joe's dad? I see you, big guy. Joe's dad. Awesome. Joe's drunk dad, I should say. Anyways, the next if and then statement, AFC North geared as always. Joe Burrow had his appendix removed on Tuesday. Obviously, Joe Burrow is a big part of the Cincinnati Bengals' success last season. Yes, he had a mediocre first half of the season. Rookie season, he got injured, week 10. Second half of the season, he blew up. Him and Jamar Chase found that connection, got hot at the right time. Ultimately went to the Super Bowl, did lose on the last play of the game. But if Joe Burrow misses any games in 2022, then if Joe Burrow misses any games in 2022, then the Cincinnati Bengals are a sub 500 team. What the Bengals have been thriving on is the deep ball threat of Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase. When you fear that deep threat, it opens up the running game for Joe Mixon. It makes Joe Burrow's life a lot easier. It makes an offensive line's job a lot easier when you don't have to worry about 6, 7, 8, 9 guys in the box. Because if you have that deep threat, you cannot play man-to-man on the backside and, basically use your athletic ability to lock it down. Because Jamar Chase will out-athletic you. Joe Burrow's arm will out-athletic you. So if Joe Burrow misses any of the games in 2022, the Bengals will probably lose those games. And then that makes the Bengals probably a sub-500 team if he misses any games this season. Now, if he just misses one, like week 1, still recovering from that appendix, they're obviously going to be okay with the 17-game season. You can hiccup 1, 2, maybe even 3 games. Now, if it's a 4, 5, 6, 7 game missing aspect of it, he has some type of complication. He gets MRSA, or obviously I'm not wishing any ill will on him, but if something like that were to happen, then they are a sub 500 team. It is what it is. Joe Burrow is the bread of this team. Yes, Joe Mixon is some meat. Jamar Chase is the lettuce. T. Higgins is the tomato, right? And then Zach Taylor is the mayo to the BLT, right? But what all brings together, Joe Burrow brings it all together, and he is a good, if not great, quarterback in the AFC. And if you miss his time, guys, it is bad news for the Cincinnati Bengals moving forward. Next up here, we are going to shift gears, switch over to the black and gold, black and yellow with a little bit of red mix in. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a quarterback controversy on their hands. They have a 3-way battle for QB number 1 between Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, and Mason Rudolph. Of course, they're all battling for that number 1 quarterback position. Kenny Pickett was the first overall pick for the Steelers. Mitchell Trubisky came in as a free agent from the Buffalo Bills. Spent some time as a starter with the Chicago Bears. And Mason Rudolph has been hit in the head once too many times as a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. But if Kenny Pickett starts week 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2022, then the Steelers are going to miss the playoffs. If you have a rookie quarterback starting week 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they could easily start off the season 0-5. Let's look at their schedule, guys. They open up with the Cincinnati Bengals. At least it's at home, right? Week number 2, the Patriots. Week number 3 at the Browns. Week 4, you throw in the Jets in there. And week 5, you throw in the Buffalo Bills. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a very, very good team. They have a great defense. They probably have the number 1, number 2 defense in the NFL. They have an okay receiving core. They have a pretty good running game in Najee Harris. But if you start a rookie quarterback against the Bengals defense, against the Patriots and Bill Belichick, against the Browns that have a damn good defense as well, and then the Buffalo Bills, right there is 0-4. Maybe you get lucky against the Jets and you go 1-4 in that 5-game stretch. But if Kenny Pickett starts for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season, they are starting the season 0-5. 0-5. Now, I do like Kenny Pickett moving forward as the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, but I do not think he is ready to start right now. I think Mitchell Trubisky is the answer for week number 1 probably through the bye week, if not the full season. Kenny Pickett just needs time to sit down, relax, collect his thoughts, maybe let his hands grow a little bit. I don't know. Maybe he can grow into that head. I don't know. But if Kenny Pickett starts week 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, probably just right off the season. 0-5, bad start. Mason Rudolph probably going to come in like at that point. And do you really want Mason Rudolph in there? I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for Joe's drunk dad. That's in the chat. I got to hide those comments, man. I got to hide them. The last if and then statement of the night. Cleveland Browns. They have had quite the offseason, haven't they? They traded Baker Mayfield to the Carolina Panthers just, 3 weeks ago, maybe? They brought in Deshaun Watson. He is expecting to miss several games this season, if not the full season. Jacoby Brissett has been named quarterback number 1. They just signed Josh Rosen to a 1-year deal as a backup. But I do like Josh Rosen as a quarterback. This is a chance to redeem himself in Cleveland. Boy, how did that taste rolling off the tongue? A quarterback is going to Cleveland to redeem himself? Okay, isn't Cleveland like where quarterbacks go to rot? Anyways, if Josh Rosen starts week 1, then the Browns are officially tanking for the 2022 season. That is right. If Josh Rosen starts week 1 in Cleveland, then they are officially tanking for the 2022 season. They are playing for that number 1 overall pick. They are playing for another big name receiver. They are going to waste a season of Amari Cooper and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Like, they got a good lineup in Cleveland, and Josh Rosen is not the quarterback. Jacoby Brissett is a quarterback that they could win 6-7 games, not a playoff quarterback by any means. So with that being said, if Deshaun Watson isn't starting, Josh Rosen is going to start. They are tanking for the 2022 season. Now, if Jacoby Brissett starts, they are still battling probably for a playoff spot. They're just not quite there yet. I don't know if Jacoby Brissett is that guy to really push them over the edge. I did like him as a Colt. I really thought the Colts kind of messed up by sending him to Miami and bringing Carson in, but this is not about Jacoby at the end of the day. It is about Josh Rosen, and if he starts, the Browns are tanking for 2022. So Browns fans, I guess bring out your bags and put them over your over your face, because the dog pound always sells out. But do you really want to be seen there? Do you really want to be classified as a Browns fan? I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. So, guys, that is going to be the if and then statements for the night. I love that segment. I love it because it gives us a chance to really think outside the box. You know, you get all these shows that give you those cookie cutter answers and want to be politically correct, and apparently you can't have a beer on air. I'm drinking Mountain Dew and water tonight, but whatever. Apparently you can't have beer on air. Whatever. It is what it is. This is the Man Hour, guys. We are live, raw, and uncut sports talk. But it is time. It is time to get into the AFC North schedule breakdown. And what team are we going to start with? The team that's on top. That is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's go ahead and start with the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys. So as you guys know, Pittsburgh Steelers did make the playoffs last season. Big Ben got that last ride, I guess, but they lost their first-round game to the Kansas City Chiefs, and it ended pretty abruptly, right? But it is what it is. Mitchell Trubisky is in. Kenny Pickett is in. Mason Rudolph is in. Who knows who's going to be the quarterback? But I am going to project that Mitchell Trubisky is the Week 1 starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that is how my picks will be going moving forward. Because if you guys will listen to the if and then statements, and if you missed it, go back to the clips. They'll be aired tomorrow, probably 2 p.m. East Coast time is when that clip will air. But week number 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers go on the road to take on the defending Super Bowl runner-up, the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, as you guys heard, Joe Burrow did have appendicitis, and he had his appendix taken out this week. He should be healthy by week 1. It's month and a half away, 2 months away. He should have plenty of time to heal. But with all that being said, it doesn't matter who starts for the Cincinnati Bengals. They are hungry, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are still going to try to find their way week 1 with their new quarterback. So give me the Bengals. Week number 2, Bill Belichick, Mac Jones, and the boys coming to town. It's not Three Rivers, it's not Heinz Field anymore. What is it called? National Crypto Bitcoin Dogecoin of America Bank or something, whatever it is. Anyways, Steelers at home for week 1. Now, Bill Belichick historically, when a team particularly is early in the season, or they play actually like if they play in midseason and beyond, and a potential playoff matchup, he keeps the cards pretty close to the vest. Very vanilla offense, very vanilla defense. But this is week 2. Mac Jones is going to want to throw the ball. But do we know who the offensive coordinator is? Who is going to be calling the plays for the New England Patriots? I don't think it really matters because the Steelers have a good defense. Mitchell Trubisky is going to be a good, if not great, quarterback in Pittsburgh, meaning he is going to not lose you a lot of games. He is going to be that game manager, Alex Smith-esque type of quarterback, Tom Brady-esque type of quarterback, not Tom Brady level, but type of Tom Brady. Nickel and dime you down the field with good receivers. Hand the ball to Najee Harris. Nickel and dime you down the field, wear you out. That's why the Steelers do win week 2 over the New England Patriots. Week 3, they travel to Cleveland Thursday night game to take on the Browns. Second division game in the first 3 weeks of the season. We don't know what's going on with the Browns. Is Deshaun Watson going to start? Is Jacoby Brissett going to start? Jacoby Brissett is listed as the number 1 quarterback right now. They just signed Josh Rosen in to become a backup. So clear they are moving on from Deshaun Watson in 2022. So with that being said, division foe, Thursday night game, rookie quarterback, not a rookie quarterback, but a new quarterback in this rivalry for both teams. Give me the give me the home team in this game. I do like the dog pound to be loud and proud in this game, getting behind Jacoby Brissett and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt running up and down the field. We actually might see Amari Cooper have kind of a breakout game here as well, kind of, reestablish his home dominance that he did in Dallas, right? He was always great at home, but terrible on the road. Give me Amari Cooper and the Browns Thursday night game over the Steelers. Give us a week 4 matchup. Zach Wilson and the New York Jets coming to town to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are kind of, at this point of the season, they're like, is Mitchell Trubisky really our answer? Our bye week is week 9. Can we struggle, go 500 long enough to get to the bye week to get Kenny Pickett in there? All that doesn't matter because Mitchell Trubisky silenced noise in this game. This week 4 game, Mitchell Trubisky shows up. We see the Mitchell Trubisky that led the Chicago Bears to 13-3 and a playoff berth, his second year in the league, if not his first year. We see a young, a hungry, chip on his shoulder Mitchell Trubisky week 4 matchup here, and they dominate the New York Jets. I mean, is it hard to dominate the New York Jets? We'll be breaking down the East soon here. You guys will see. But week 5 matchup after that dominating performance versus the Jets, They have to take that domination and carry over to week 5 into Buffalo, New York to take on the Bills. The battle of probably the best two defenses in the AFC. The battle of a top 20 offense versus a top offense in the league. Give me the home team. The Buffalo Bills win this one. Week number 6, Tom Brady comes into town to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Steelers, week number 6, Sunday game. Sunday afternoon game. I feel like every time we have picked a game here, I have picked the Bucs. I have picked the Bucs over and over and over, and at some point they got to lose a game, right? At some point they got to lose a game. In week 6, they do go into Pittsburgh and they lose that game. Mitchell Trubisky is going to carry on that home momentum. Najee Harris is looking thick and muscular and put on a little bit of weight because he's going to carry the ball 30 to 40 times in this game. It is going to be a dominating running performance. Yes, the Bucs have a good defense. I don't care that they signed Julio Jones. That doesn't matter. The Bucs have a good defense. It doesn't matter. Najee Harris is going to get his money, going to earn that money, going to run up and down over the Bucs in week number 6. That puts the Steelers at 3-3 going into the week 7 matchup versus Miami Dolphins at Miami. Miami is a team that everybody's hyping up. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. They're not a Super Bowl team. They're not even a playoff team. But they do beat the Pittsburgh Steelers week number 7, putting the Pittsburgh Steelers back behind the 500 mark here going into week 8 when they travel to Philly to take on the Eagles coming off their bye week. Coming off of a bye week, guys, I always like the team coming off the bye week, especially if it's a home game for the biased team. The team coming off the bye, I should say. I always like them. But I don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers really being a below 500 team. I see them as a 600 or 700 team. And if I pick them to lose this game, moving forward, their schedule does not get very easy. They have many division games. They do play the Falcons and Colts coming up as well. So this is a must-win. This is a must-win Week 8 game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because if they lose this game, they fall to 3-5 on the season. They fall to 3-5 on the season going into a bye week. Then all the controversy starts to swirl. Is Mitchell Trubisky the answer? Should we put Kenny Pickett in? Mitchell Trubisky has only led us to a 400 record. Kenny Pickett can probably do that in a sleep, right? What do we do? This is a must-win for the Pittsburgh Steelers if they want to make the playoffs. So that's why I'm picking them to win this game over the Philadelphia Eagles Week 8 going into the bye week, Week 9. Then Week 10, they're back at home taking on the New Orleans Saints. This is a win for them as well. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season in Pittsburgh. He has made the playoffs every season as a Pittsburgh Steeler, I believe, head coach, if I'm not mistaken. But for whatever reason, after a bye week, Mike Tomlin and the boys are locked and loaded, ready to play. They beat down the Saints Week 10. I don't care if they have Michael Thomas. I don't care if they have Drew Brees. I don't care if they have Alvin Kamara. They can bring back Joe Montana to play quarterback in this game. It doesn't matter. The Steelers are clicking on all cylinders, and that place is going to be rocking. Given a 2-game winning streak going into Week 11 when the Bengals come into town, Sunday night game. Bengals are fresh off their bye week. Joe Burrow is clicking. Jamar Chase is clicking. T. Higgins is clicking. The whole team is clicking. The defense is looking nice. The offense is looking nice. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are clicking as well. That bye week is exactly what they needed. They beat down the Saints, and they're going to beat the Bengals as well at home. No sweep for the Bengals this year. The Bengals and Steelers split this season. Gives them a Week 12 matchup. Steelers travel to Indy to take on Matt Ryan and the Colts. We have 3 wins in a row, guys, right now. The Steelers are on a winning streak. They are clicking. They are looking hungry. They're looking mighty, mighty hungry. This is a Monday night game in Indy. It doesn't matter. Steelers are clicking. The Steelers are hot. The Steelers win this game as well by 10 points, giving us a 4-game winning streak going into Week 13 when they're on the road again to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is a trap game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a game that, because they play the Ravens the next week, they have yet to play the Ravens, and when you look at their schedule moving forward, they're at home versus the Ravens, they're on the road versus the Panthers, they're at home versus the Raiders, and then Ravens on the road, and then Browns to finish out the season. This is a game that they could be overlooking. This is a game that thinking, hey, we have won 4 in a row. We are hot. We are clicking. The defense is looking good. Mitchell Trubisky is flinging that rock across the field, looking like a rookie second-year player again like he did in Chicago, looking fresh. Najee Harris is running solid. They overlook the Falcons, and they get upset by the Falcons on the Sunday game. Give me the Falcons week 13. Week 14, Lamar Jackson and the boys coming to town. Man, if you guys have been watching the Man Hour or listening to the Man Hour on podcast form at all, you guys know between week 10 and week 15, I have been high on the Baltimore Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson is just going to go off from week 10 to week 15. He is going to be looking good. Did you hear what I said there? From week 10 to week 15, Lamar Jackson is going to go off. Well, this is a week 14 matchup. Give me the Baltimore Ravens upsetting the Pittsburgh Steelers at home in this matchup. Give us a week 15 matchup. Steelers are on the road taking on the Carolina Panthers. At this point, I do believe that Baker Mayfield will be the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. I do believe that CMC will still be healthy. I believe that Robbie Anderson has finally made his amends with Baker Mayfield. What, future Hall of Famers was it? Is that what you said? Whatever. It doesn't matter. The Pittsburgh Steelers win this Week 15 match because they were pissed off because they just got upset by the Baltimore Ravens. Week 16 matchup, the Raiders coming to town. That West Coast time zone to East Coast time zone affects them. Give me the Steelers. Raiders are probably flopping at the end of this season now. Struggling to stay afloat, struggling to stay above 500. Steelers are sitting at 9-6 right now, going into Week 16, a very pivotal matchup on the road versus the Baltimore Ravens. They've already lost to the Ravens once this season. I don't see it happening twice. Give me the Steelers on the road, taking over the Baltimore Ravens. Week 18 to finish up the matchup. We're sitting at 10-6 right now. 11-6 probably gets us in the playoffs. 10-7 probably on the outside looking in. Huge matchup at home. Final game of the season. The winner gets all the marbles, right? Wasn't it about 5 years ago when the Steelers and the Browns were in this exact situation and Antonio Brown didn't show up to the game, or it was like an hour later or something, and the Steelers ended up losing that game? Well, guess what? Antonio Brown isn't on the team anymore, but they do have Chase Claypool, which is kind of on the verge of becoming an Antonio Brown type of person. But I think he shows up, and I think the Steelers win that Week 18 matchup, giving them 11-6 record and possible wild card berth, if not division championship here in the 2022 season. When I say possible division championship, we don't know yet because we haven't broken down the team that could possibly win the division, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, the Bengals are Super Bowl runners-up. They got hot second half of the season. They finished the season, 10-7, made a wild card, made a great playoff push here. So week 1 for the Cincinnati Bengals, the Steelers coming to town. The Bengals whoop that ass. Week number 1, the Steelers don't know who the quarterback is at this point. I mean, they know, obviously, who is going to start, but they're not rallied around their starter yet, right? Bengals win week number 1. Week number 2, the Bengals travel to the Big D. Mike McCarthy, Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons and the boys all at home. They're fired up. But damn, this matchup is very freaking intriguing, because you got a couple of the 2 hottest receivers in the NFL going head-to-head, CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to have a breakout third season. I think Jamar Chase is going to continue on his upward track. Joe Burrow is an up-and-coming quarterback as well, going into his third season. Dak Prescott is a proven quarterback in the NFL. This is going to be a great game. But it is not going to come down to the offenses. It's going to come down to the defensive side of the ball in this game. We're going to look at a defense slugfest, I do believe. The offenses are going to be kind of anemic in this game. And I think the Dallas Cowboys have the better defense in this situation, and they're at home. So give me the Dallas Cowboys in week number 2. Week number 3, the Bengals are back on the road again, traveling to New York to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Jets. Man, do I want to pick that upset? Do I think the Bengals are still kind of licking their wounds like a little bit after that Cowboys game? No. Joe Burrow is pissed off. Joe Burrow is rattling those troops. Zach Taylor is rattling those troops. They are going to go into New York and whoop that ass, speed it down. The Jets have a tough schedule. Week number 4, Miami Dolphins come to town. Thursday night game. Give me the Bengals. Thursday night game, home team, 90% of the time. Week number 5, division matchup. Bengals, their second division game. First one on the road. They travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Lamar Jackson and the boys. When I say the boys, I mean Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson. Basically, Lamar Jackson has to have an MVP caliber season to be successful. We have talked about that many times, and I think that the Cincinnati Bengals will win this first matchup versus the Baltimore Ravens on the road. Week number 6, the Bengals are back on the road. Wow, they have 4 road games in the first 6 weeks. That's kind of tough. It is tough traveling to Dallas. It is tough traveling to New York. I mean, Baltimore is just across the way a little bit, but then you travel to the Big Easy. There's always something about sleeping in your bed, especially early in the season. Yes, your body is still fresh, but you just got through a tough training camp. You had a tough preseason. Yes, you had a home game, but then you're on the road, then you're back home for a short work week, then you're back on the road again, and it's starting to take the effect. They just want to be home for a couple weeks. The Saints win this game. So speaking of being back home, week 7, they are back at home versus the Atlanta Falcons. This game is not even close. Bengals win this game. Week 8, the Bengals are back on the road, back on division road again to travel to Cleveland. Not a far drive or a flight or whatever they want to do, but it's a Monday night game. The dog pound is crazy on Monday night, but Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase show out in big games. They like to show up. They like to flaunt their stuff, but the dog pound on Monday night. Week 8, division game. Man, Deshaun Watson could be back. This could be Deshaun Watson's first game as a Brown. Monday night game versus the Bengals. Give me the Browns in this one. I like the Browns on Monday night. Week number 9, Carolina Panthers come into town. The Bengals are they are a 500 team right now. They are They are 5-3 right now going into week 9 with Carolina Panthers coming to town. Baker Mayfield is the quarterback at this time. But the Cincinnati Bengals have had Baker Mayfield's number the last couple seasons, and I think the Bengals win their week 9 game going into a bye week into week 10. Much needed bye week because their schedule gets brutal. This point moving forward, the Cincinnati Bengals schedule went from, very, very winnable games to like games that they could be the underdog in most of these games. And it starts off with week 11 when they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers week 11. Yes, the Bengals are coming off of a week. The Bengals are coming off of a bye week, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are at home. They are hungry. They are clicking at this point. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers week 11. Week 12, they travel to Nashville. King Henry, Ryan Tannehill. They picked up Marquez Colston, right? They are a semi-improved team by addition, by subtraction, I guess. I don't know. But I'm picking the Titans to win this game. They are still pissed off about that playoff game with a 13-16 upset win. Bengals came into Nashville and upset them in the playoffs. But King Henry will be 100% at this point in the season. He was not 100% in that playoff game. They are learning to work the two-headed system. They are learning how to implement Ryan Tannehill's passing game plus the running game. The Tennessee Titans will be dangerous come week 12, and that's why they win this game. Week 13, the best team in the AFC. Let me get my hat to prove it here. The Kansas City Chiefs, my Kansas City Chiefs, coming to town to take on the Cincinnati Bengals again. If you guys flash back to 2021, the Bengals whooped the Chiefs' ass. What Jamar Chase had like 300 yards receiving. Joe Burrow had like 400 yards passing. It was ridiculous. It was a beatdown. Guess what? It's going to happen again. The Bengals beat the Chiefs week 13, giving them a 7-5 record. Going into week 14, when the Cleveland Browns come into town, Bengals are starting to click here. They lost 3 of their last 4. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs to get that little bit of swag back. The Browns come into town and they get their swag back over the Browns. And this game is going to be ugly. The Browns should probably not even just show up, to be honest. Like, it's going to be that ugly for the Browns in week 14. Week 15, Joe Burrow and the boys traveled to Tampa Bay to take on Tom Brady and the Bucs. Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Godwin, Leonard Fournette, Keyshawn, you name it, they have everybody that's over 35 years old, it seems like. But I do like the Cincinnati Bengals on the road in this Week 15 matchup, giving them their 9th win on the season. Week 16, they're back on the road to play Tom Brady's former team, and that is the New England Patriots. Mac Jones versus Joe Burrow. Zach Taylor versus Bill Belichick. A good defense versus a good defense. This is going to be a grungy game, grinded out, cold. Heck, we could see Mac Jones throw for 2 passes again, right? Give me the Patriots. I do like the Patriots in the Week 16 matchup. Week 17, they're back at home. Monday night game. Buffalo Bills coming to town. We are at the point of the season, guys, right now. The Cincinnati Bengals are 9-6 on the season. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers going 11-6. So if they want to win the division, have a chance to win the division, they have to win these last 2 games of the season. It starts on a Monday night game when the Buffalo Bills come into town to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Possibly a preview of the AFC Championship game. Now, the Buffalo Bills will probably have their division, have the number 1 seed locked up at this point. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to be dominant all season long. 13-4, 14-3 type of season. They are going to be gnarly. But I think one of the Buffalo Bills' losses come to the Bengals Week 17 because the Bengals are kind of in that must-win situation. They want a home field game in the playoffs. Give us a Week 18 matchup when the Baltimore Ravens come into town. Bengals are sitting at 10-6 at this point. Steelers are 11-6 with number 1 in the division. If the Bengals win this game, they take first in the division. If they lose a game, they drop down to 3rd. So, Week 18, Lamar Jackson come to town to take on Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the boys. Do we have faith in Lamar Jackson in January here on Man Hour? No, we do not. When is this game? 2nd week of January. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals to finish the season 11-6, same as the Pittsburgh Steelers, but with the head-to-head tie breaker, the Bengals win the division with 11-6, sitting at number 2 seed in the AFC. So not terrible at all. So not terrible at all for you Bengals fans. Sorry, Drew, I just saw your comment. What's up, my man? How you doing tonight? Make sure you vote there on the poll. Who wins the AFC North? Right now, 66% of you say that the Bengals are going to win the North. As you guys should. Because I picked the Bengals to win, and I'm always right. Right, Joe? Where's Joe's drunk dad at? I haven't seen him in the chat for like a little while. Oh, I had to hide his comments. Joe, is that you, or is that actually your drunk dad? I'm kind of curious. Anyways, next up on the breakdown of the AFC North, and we look no further than the purple and gold, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens missed the playoff, guys, last year with an 8-9 record. Lamar Jackson only played 12 games on the season. They were riddled with injuries. Excuse me. They were riddled with injuries. Everybody that had an ACL tore it last season on the Ravens. So, with that being said, That being said, excuse me as I wet the old whistle, the Baltimore Ravens start on the road this season, taking on the New York Football Jets. Wow. This game is not intriguing on paper whatsoever, right? What have the Jets done for us lately? Absolutely nothing. A butt fumble 10 years ago, right? Is that our fondest memory of the Jets? What have the Baltimore Ravens done for us lately, right? Yes, a playoff win 2 years ago. Lamar Jackson won an MVP 3 years ago, right? Like, I get it. This game is not intriguing on paper whatsoever. But football games are not won on papers, ladies and gentlemen. Football games are won between the white lines, between the white, the green, and the white. That is where, unless it's like October and the field turns brown, right? But I'm picking the New York Football Jets to upset the Ravens week number 1. Ravens start the season 0-1. Week number 2, Tua, Tyreek Hill, and the boys come into town to take on Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson. They don't have anybody. The Ravens should have gotten the Julio Jones sweepstakes to be honest. Yeah, Drew, I've been trying to work with that, and I can't figure it out. I'm no audio engineer, unfortunately. But week number 2, I do have the Miami Dolphins beating the Baltimore Ravens, starting the season off 0-2. Week number 3, Lamar Jackson travels to New England to take on the Patriots. Give me the Patriots. Actually, no. No. Bill Belichick always has trouble versus mobile quarterbacks. And what is Lamar Jackson? He is a running back that happens to be able to throw the ball, a.k.a. a mobile quarterback. Give me the Baltimore Ravens in this week 3 matchup. Week number 4, it doesn't get any easier for the Baltimore Ravens as the Bills come into town. Good Lord. Good Lord. Buffalo Bills, another win for them. Ravens are starting the season off 1-3. Give us a week 5 matchup with the Cincinnati Bengals coming to town. Bengals are good. Bengals are going to win this division at 11-6. And one of their 11 wins are week number 5 over the Baltimore Ravens. Week number 6, the Ravens travel to New York. Not to take on the Jets this time, but take on the Giants. The Giants are another team that is not good on paper. Saquon Barkley hasn't played a full season in, 3 years? However, he's back healthy. Mr. King Quad himself has added like 2 inches onto his quad, so it's at least 46 inches wide now. Good grief. That's half of the freaking line is one of his quads. And I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to realize that trading Hollywood Brown has been more detrimental to the team than they had first originally thought. This is where it rears his scary head. They cannot pass the ball down the field. The Giants are going to lock Lamar Jackson into the pocket and force him to throw the ball down the field, and that is where Lamar Jackson is not very successful. Call me a Lamar Jackson hater all you want, but the facts are there. Passes over 12 yards down the field, Lamar Jackson has a 37% completion rating. Call a spade a spade. Giants win this game. Wow. 1 win in the first 7 weeks, and it's versus the Patriots. Give us a week 7 matchup. Cleveland Browns and their quarterback controversy comes into town to take on the Baltimore Ravens. A division game. The Browns are bad. The Ravens are bad. Which bad team do you want to pick? Give me the Baltimore Ravens at home. Week 8. The schedule is brutal for the Ravens. Good God. Thursday night game on the road versus Tom Brady and the Bucks. Give me the Bucks. Like, for real? Like, come on. A short week. Take on a great Tampa Bay Buccaneers team versus a bad. Can we flex this game to like Tuesday afternoon so nobody has to watch it? I kid. No, not really. This game's going bad. The only thing that would make this game intriguing for me to watch, I mean, I'm going to watch it either way when we're doing the man area. I got the big screen right there in front of me. What if the Baltimore Ravens bust out like an all gold alternate uniform like in this game? Wouldn't that be badass? That would be badass. Week number 9, they go from one primetime slot to another primetime slot on the road, taking on the Saints. Monday night in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Wow. Huh. Can the Ravens really go into to the Metrodome or to the Superdome? And upset the Saints? I think they can. Week 9, give me the Baltimore Ravens. Because week 10 is the bye week. And if you guys have been listening to the Man Hour, this is when Lamar Jackson starts to click. Week 11 to week 15, Lamar Jackson's going to be an MVP-level quarterback for 4 weeks of the season. And it starts with the week 11 win over the Carolina Panthers. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I'm going to rush for 200 yards. I'm going to throw for 37. But it doesn't matter. They're going to win this game. Week 12, they play the Jacksonville Jaguars, another bad team. On the road, they win that game over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Week 13, the Denver Broncos come into town. Give me another win for the Baltimore Ravens. Week 15 or week 14, they travel to Pittsburgh Steelers. That's another win. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, that is 5 wins in a row for the Baltimore Ravens. All of a sudden, they are looking like a playoff contending team. Holy shit, hold my beer, look out. Here comes Lamar Jackson. Week 15, travel to Cleveland. That is another win. Lamar Jackson has rushed for like 1,200 yards in these 5-game stretch here. But, know that Smash Mouth song? Crash it back down to reality. Week 16, the Atlanta Falcons come into town, and that's exactly what happens. They crash back down to reality. They lose to the worst team in the NFL. Not only do they lose, they get embarrassed by the worst team in the NFL at home. It is bad. Week 16, Falcons come into town, whoop the Ravens' asses. It is ugly. Week 17, the downward trend continues. Another loss when the Pittsburgh Steelers come into town and whoop that ass. Week 18, another bad loss on the road to the Cincinnati Bengals, making us give us an 8-9 season, same as last season. Now, I can tell you guys already, I can see the comments from Joe and Joe Drunk's dad and Trent and all you Ravens fans out there. I can already see it. Oh, you are just picking them to be the same because you're a Lamar Jackson hater. What have the Baltimore Ravens done for you this offseason to get better? Answer me that question. J.K. Dobbins is still listed as out. Their backup running back is still listed as out. Lamar Jackson is at camp, but they are going to sign him like a $500 million contract, making him the highest paid quarterback, I'm sure. Once you do that, how are you going to get better? Guys, the Baltimore Ravens are doomed for mediocrity for the next 5 or 6 seasons. As long as Lamar Jackson is the quarterback, let me collect my thoughts. Deep breath, relax, calm down. As long as Lamar Jackson is the quarterback in Baltimore Ravens are doomed for mediocrity. They might have 1 or 2 great regular seasons, first round playoff exit. We are going to see a lot of 8-9, 9-8 records as long as Lamar Jackson is the quarterback in Baltimore, especially if he signs this huge deal like Kyler Murray just did. Because as we see it, the next quarterback up is always the next highest paid quarterback. So by default facto, common denominator, carry the 2 square root of 8, right? Lamar Jackson is going to be the next highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Does he deserve it? No. Yes, he won an MVP. Only because Patrick Mahomes missed 3 games that particular season. If Baltimore Ravens fans want mediocrity, sign Lamar Jackson to a long-term deal. If you want to win, sign and trade Lamar Jackson. Sign and trade. Trade him to the Jets. The Jets will probably give you the house and the boat for them. Plus maybe their firstborn child. I'm just saying. All right, guys. So far here in the AFC North, we have the Cincinnati Bengals sitting at 11-6. The Pittsburgh Steelers sitting at 11-6. The Baltimore Ravens sitting at 8-9, which gives us the most up and down team. We don't know what the hell is going to happen for this team in the 2022 season, so we're all kind of just shooting in the dark like at this point, and that is the Cleveland Browns. Is Deshaun Watson going to be able to play in 2022? Is Jacoby Brissett going to be the starting quarterback? Is Josh Rosen going to be the starting quarterback? Are they going to trade everybody and bring back Baker Mayfield? No, that's not going to happen, but it could. Wouldn't that be the most Cleveland thing ever? Hey, we messed up with Deshaun. Take him back. We want Baker back. Whatever. But week number 1, speaking of Baker Mayfield, the Cleveland Browns travel to Carolina to take on potentially Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers. With that being said, it doesn't matter who the starting quarterback is for the Cleveland Browns week 1. If Baker Mayfield is starting for the Carolina Panthers week 1, the Panthers are winning that game. Sorry, Browns fans. Baker Mayfield's going to whoop your ass. Baker Mayfield's going to take his Hulu money. He is going to buy you all hookers, and you're all going to get 27 felonies or criminal charges, and then he is going to spank your mama. Give me the Panthers week number 1. Week number 2, the Jets coming to town to take on, let's say Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starting quarterback because that's what everything seems to be pointing to. I do think the Browns beat the Jets week number 2 at home. Week number 3, Mitchell Trubisky and the Pittsburgh Steelers coming to town on Thursday night to take on the Browns. Do the Browns start 2-1 this season? Yes, they do. They do beat the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. First Thursday night game of the season. They do win that game, giving them a 2-1 start, giving them the week 4 matchup when they travel to Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. Man, Mercedes must have a lot of money, yo. But Jacoby Brissett versus Marcus Mariota, maybe. Who do you guys think is going to start in like Atlanta? Is it going to be Desmond Ridder or Marcus Mariota? It doesn't really matter because they're going to be bad, but they do get a win over the Browns. Ugh. Week 5, Chargers, a very, very good Chargers team. Justin Herbert and the boys coming to town. Give me the Chargers week number 5. Week number 6, the old New England Patriots and Mac Jones coming to town to take on Jacoby Brissett, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, and a good defense into town. Give me the Browns in this game as well. I do like the Browns defense moving forward this season. The Browns defense is going to win them a lot of games, meaning they're going to hold a lot of teams to under 6 points or less. 1 touchdown for the Browns is going to win them a lot of games. And when you have Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, one of those people are going to score every game. So just give Nick Chubb the ball 30 times, and he is going to find the end zone for you. Week 6, they do beat the Patriots. Week number 7, they're on the road to take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. We just broke that down. Give me the Baltimore Ravens in this game. Give us a Monday night matchup when the Bengals come into town. Is this game going to decide the division? I mean, yes, the Browns started off a little rough, right? Losses to the Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons, and Chargers, but they're starting to turn things around, right? And they beat the Bengals. They beat the Bengals week 8, Monday Night Football. The Dog Pound is not going to lose on Monday Night Football going into the bye week number 10. This is when the wheels come off of the wagon, ladies and gentlemen. Cleveland Browns, you guys need Deshaun Watson more than you know at this point. You need to clone Deshaun Watson 3 or 4 times to get through this stretch of games these next 3 weeks. With that being said, week number 10, they travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins in this game. Week 11, they travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Give me the Buffaloes in this game. Week 12, they're back at home, but the Bucs travel to them. Give me the Bucs in this game. 0-3, coming off the bye week. Giving us a week 13 matchup. What the hell? Why not? Give us another loss versus the Houston Texans at Houston. Week 14 comes rolling around. We travel to Cincinnati. Guess what? Another loss. Week 15, Baltimore Ravens coming to town. You know what? Let's just keep the trend going. Another loss for the Cleveland Browns week 14. You know what? Let's not even break down the last 3 games. Loss versus Saints, loss versus the Commanders, loss versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, giving them a 4-13 record this season. They are bad. The Cleveland Browns are bad this season without Deshaun Watson. Yes, they got a good defense. I like their defense. Their defense is going to win them four games. Jacoby Brissett's not. Josh Rosen's not. Baker Mayfield's not. I mean, obviously Baker Mayfield's not on the team, but you get the gist. No quarterback on the roster right now besides Deshaun Watson is going to win them more than 4 games this season. If the Browns do not have Deshaun Watson for all 17 games, they're a 4-win team. Jacoby Brissett, 4-win quarterback, unfortunately. Josh Rosen, 4-win quarterback, unfortunately. The only way they have an opportunity to take this great team that they have right now with a defense and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Amari Cooper, they are a quarterback away. They are a Jimmy G away to making the playoffs. When Jimmy G plays all 17 games, he leads teams to championships. That's why I do not know why the 49ers want to get rid of this man. Cleveland Browns, if you guys want to make the AFC Championship game this season, if you do not have Deshaun Watson, actually, even if you have Deshaun Watson, get Jimmy G into town. Get Deshaun Watson out of town. Take the bullet, whatever you got to do. You know, it's going to affect you for 3 or 4 years. I get it. Get Jimmy G into town. Jimmy G will lead you to the Super Bowl. Jimmy G, as a Cleveland Browns quarterback, is a Super Bowl team. I said it. Drew says, could Nick Chubb be the next King Henry? When we say the next King Henry, Drew, are we referring to a 2,000-yard rusher? Or are we referring to a guy that carries the ball 30 times a game, that carries, you know, the ball 600 times in 4 seasons? Was it 3 seasons or whatever it was? Are we referring to that? If we're referring to the latter part of the answer or the question, no. Nick Chubb will never get over 15, 16 carries in a game. That is why if you play fantasy football, you do not want Nick Chubb on your team because of Kareem Hunt. Now, if we're referring to the 2,000-yard thing, let's flash back to last week. I believe it was last Wednesday when we were talking about King Henry, when his peers listed him as the best running back in the league, and I said that's total BS. They are talking about what he has done, not what he's going to do. And I said that we will never have a 2,000-yard rusher in the league again. And I don't think Nick Chubb will even get close to 2,000 yards, probably making like 1,400 yards. So Drew says, yeah, so 2,000 yards. No, Nick Chubb will never get to 2,000 yards. He might have 2,000 yards in 2 seasons. But other than that, no. We will never see another 2,000-yard rusher in the NFL because we are a pass-happy league. And when somebody gets close, they get hurt. King Henry was definitely on his way to a 2,000-yard season again last season. What did he do? He get hurt because the Titans ran him into the dirt. Running backs are a dime a dozen. Yes, you do have a couple outliers. You do have a King Henry that took 3 years to figure himself out. We do have a Saquon Barkley that could easily carry the Giants if he stayed healthy. Keyword healthy. 2 there back to back. The only one that has stayed healthy that has the most scrimmage yards in the last 5 seasons, that is Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott is the only one that has been healthy over the last 5 seasons, and even then he sat out the first 3 games of the season a couple years ago. So, I mean, yes, he wasn't injured, but he sat out because of the contract. But the Cowboys don't use and abuse him. The Cowboys have him out of the backfield. They have Tony Pollard to use and abuse. So, running backs, unfortunately, are a dime a dozen. They last 4 to 5 years in the league, and then they filter out. Look at Chris Carson. Yes, he was a 7th-round pick, but after his second season, he had the hype. He had the hype as a top 10 running back in the league. What did the Seahawks do? They used and abused him. He broke his neck, and he never got healthy again. Retired 5 years. At the age of 27, at 28 maybe, he retired from the NFL with a hurt-ass neck. Running backs get hurt. Running backs get used and abused. We will never see a 2,000-yard rusher again, unfortunately. The only way we're ever going to see a 2,000-yard rusher, 18-game season. It is what it is. And even then, we are probably going to see 6,500-yard passing before 2,000-yard rusher like again. I bet you we see a 6,000-yard passing season before we see another 2,000-yard season. It is what it is at the end of the day. But, guys, this is the Man Hour. And with that being said, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, 8 p.m. East Coast time right here on youtube.com/Man Hour. But if you are on the old Facebook page at 2 p.m. every Monday through Friday, you guys can check us out there as well. We are on the Man Hour Facebook page. We're on 313 The Flash Facebook page and also all the Trash Troop pages as well. 2 p.m. East Coast time every Monday through Friday. Replays of the Man Hour if you guys have missed this live. Or if you just want to watch this again. Like, hey, I missed last week's episode when Buck broke down the AFC West and said the Chiefs were the best team. Check it out. That's happening tomorrow at 2 p.m. Later, guys. Have a good night. It's raining. It's pouring. The old man is snoring. Time to go tuck the kids in bed. Later.